Hi everyone. Thank you for joining me for this team member training video. I'm Jeannie Stark and I serve as the Director of Accreditation for SAES, and I want to thank you especially for serving on a visiting team for the coming school year. In this video, I'll tell you some of what it means to be a team member for an on-site visiting team, and I'll talk about the preparations that you'll be making prior to your visit. We'll take a peek at a team portal that you'll use to prepare and also produce the report of the visiting team. SAES provides a wealth of resources to help you throughout your service to the host school, and I'll help you to find where those are located on that portal. Then I'll talk about the visit itself and your tasks as a team member. Finally, I'll answer the 3 most asked questions that I historically get from team members. But that being said, I encourage you to stay in touch with all other questions that this video does not address. So let's get started. You'll recognize this guide for the team member as the one I sent you when you were chosen for the team. It's filled with lots of information that begins with your selection, describe what happens before the visit, and most especially what happens during the visit. As you're reading through the guide, be sure to take notes and be in touch with me if you have any questions about anything you read. The guide reminds you to make your travel plans. If you plan to fly, make those early so that you're being responsible to the school's budget for the visit and hopefully getting better rates. When you make your plans, keep in mind that you need to arrive at the team hotel before 2 p.m. on the Sunday of the visit, as there's a mandatory meeting at 2 o'clock on that day. Your return flights can be scheduled after noon on Wednesday of the visit. Later in this video, we'll talk about reimbursements for your travel and other approved expenses. There's so much to be considered when you're asked to be on a team, and one of the biggest is planning to be gone from home and school for the better part of 4 days. Begin that planning as soon as necessary to ensure that you're covered on both fronts. So, in a nutshell, your task as a member of the on-site visiting team is to be the eyes and ears for the SAES Standards Committee. They do not see the self-study and, of course, are not with you on the visit. So through your written report, they will see the school, learn about the program, practices, strengths, and possible areas of growth. Your evaluation of the school and its compliance with the SAES standards will inform the committee's decision in awarding their accreditation. It's a big job, and again, thank you for accepting the invitation. And it is most important at this point to note that the school and SAES depend on you for keeping the trust and confidence of the school. Your conversations with school staff, conversations with other team members, and anyone else in the community of the school are to be held in confidence while at the school and after you leave. Any documents, including the self-study, are to be shredded before leaving the school and not to be discussed outside of those discussions held with the team while on campus. You've had an opportunity to read through the guide, so let's talk about what comes next. Before you set foot on the campus, there are 6 things that we're going to ask of you. First, you'll want to know everything you can about the school and its people. Take the time to check out the school's website. You'll learn a lot about the program, the activities, the history, the current staff, and other pertinent information. The team portal is the next place to go and probably has the most information. It will inform you about the school. It will house the self-study, SAES resources, some prompts for writing, a sample of a report of the on-site visiting team, team information, and much more. Your own team portal link will be sent to you via email, but let's take a quick look at one. You'll notice that the portal opens to the page containing the standards of SAES. That's because all of your work, your evaluation, and your writing is based on these standards. Print them out, review them, read them, know them, and be able to use them during your time at the school. Accreditation status is awarded according to a school's level of compliance with these standards, so it's important that you have this knowledge before going in. Here's where your team portal will be located. After you take the tour of the portal, spend plenty of time getting to know it and all of the available resources that are on it. There's much more for you to see here, but I will leave that to the portal tour video that I'll send you. The portal itself is a Google site, and for you to open pages and documents, you must be signed in to your Google or Gmail account. Once you're familiar with the portal and everything that lives on it, your next step is to start reading the self-study. Here's what it will look like when you receive your portal. You'll notice on this page that we've asked the school to send their self-study to us in a couple of different ways. First of all, we ask that they send the self-study in its entirety. What that does is allows you to take the time to go through, learn as much as you possibly can about the school. You're welcome to print the whole thing if highlighting and taking notes is your way of studying. This will take a while, so plan accordingly. Now, after you have read through the self-study thoroughly, it's time for you to go back through and reread the sections that you've been assigned to write. As a reminder, when you receive the team roster, your writing assignments could be found in the far right column, and the roster is located under Team Info on your portal, so you can check that out when you get your portal. Really dig into those sections that you are supposed to write and learn all that you can. Surely you'll have questions that will need to be discussed with school personnel or other team members. Now that you've read and reread, it's time to begin your written work for the school. You're asked to write a narrative introduction to each of the sections that you've been assigned. So where do you get the information for your narrative? Well, first you'll want to take a look at the school's previous on-site visit report to see what the narrative introduction looks like and the kind of information that's in one. You'll find that on the resources page of your portal, and it is truly one of the most helpful resources because it will show you what your finished report will look like and acquaint you with what you're being asked to do. Then look at what the school has written in their self-study to glean what you need. Remember that the team's report will be given to the standards committee so that even though they were not there, the members get the picture of the school and how it's doing. The portal resources page has a section intro document as well that has suggestions for topics you'll want to include in your introduction. Once you're on campus, you will edit, change, and add to what you have written, but it's a great place to start. Several areas may have more than one writer, and as with the section on teaching and learning, the school may have more than one division. This is an actual page from the report of the on-site visiting team, and it will help you to understand that when you get to the teaching and learning section, you'll see that this school has a lower school and a middle school, and of course enrichments and other programs like extended day. So here is where you'll be writing that narrative introduction. If you're assigned to do lower school, or in some cases there will be early childhood and high school, here is where you insert your narrative introduction. Then whoever happens to be writing middle school will insert theirs at this point. And then together you'll collaborate once you're on campus to take care of writing these introductions. Again, check out the previous on-site visit report for what these might look like. Okay, so you have prepared and prepared to be on site. So now let's talk about the actual visit. You've left your school and your family behind, and you're ready to do the work for the host school. You're going to get checked into your hotel, unpack, and get ready for the team meeting and late afternoon visit to the school. The team meeting is held at the hotel in either your team meeting room or a suite. Your team leader will notify you of where that's going to be located. During that meeting, you'll have the opportunity to discuss the school's self-study, things you've learned and things you still want to know. You'll hear from the team leader and the staff liaison about what you can expect for the visit, and you'll have a chance to review and discuss the standards of SAES. The 2 hours set aside for this meeting usually go very fast, and you'll likely have to complete the meeting after you've been to the school for the tour and had dinner. Around 4 o'clock, the team will proceed to the school for a tour and a reception. The tour of the school is wonderfully helpful for the team as you become acquainted with the surroundings and have a better idea of how to get around. At the reception that follows, you'll meet the admin team, the staff and teachers, board members, and other constituents of the school, and you'll have an opportunity to introduce yourself to everyone. It's a good time for you to seek out those people in the areas that you'll be writing about and introduce yourself. Be certain during this conversation that you're encouraging to them, that you're grateful for their work, and do everything you can to reassure them that everything's going to go really well. The team does not stick around long, so the school staff can get home and the team can go to dinner. Dinner is a chance for the team to breathe a little and think about who you met, what you saw, and if those things you read in the self-study seem to be reflected in person. One tip, be careful that while you are out to dinner and that you're not talking specifics about the school or naming names while you're in that public setting. Unless, of course, it's all really good information and would be free advertising for the school. Once Monday arrives, your focus is on following the schedule for the visit and spending lots of time observing in classrooms. Be sure to check out the sample visit schedule both in the team member guide and on the team portal, as it gives a bigger picture of everything you'll be doing. The team will have a workroom on the campus that is reserved only for team members. It is your headquarters for the week. You will do little else on Monday, but it is so important to get in lots of observations that day. Your writing will come later, but the information you need to write your report will be found in meetings and observations on campus. Guidelines for observing in classes will be talked about in your team meeting at the hotel. Throughout the week, you will do lots of talking with school constituents and other team members. As you are gleaning information, keep in mind that your goal is to paint the picture of the school for the SAES Standards Committee through the writing of your report. You do that by using the narrative introduction that you began before the visit and making edits and changes as you discover new information while you're there. Beyond that, you're going to use the standards of the association to highlight those things that the school excels in doing. Those are the commendations that you will write. If a school really shines in not only meeting the standard but goes above and beyond, then you will commend them for it. If, on the other hand, a school does not meet one of SAES's standards, then you will write a recommendation for resolving the issue of noncompliance. The school will be held accountable for the recommendations listed in the report and must correct the noncompliance and address them in subsequent reporting. A suggestion is also something that you might feel the need to write. It's not based on a standard, but is the area where you might offer best practice ideas for school improvement. Let's take a look at some of all three. This is a sample page from one of our previous reports of the on-site visiting team. As you can see, it lists commendations, suggestions, and recommendations that the school will need to make after the report is complete. For the commendations, you'll notice out to the side in red the letter D and the number 4, D.4. What that refers to is the standard under section D, which is organization and administration, and it's standard number 4. Obviously, the school should be commended because of the people at the school and how well they work, the leaders, the faculty, and all of the collaboration that takes place at the school. A suggestion was listed. Again, a suggestion is not tied to standards, so there is no standard referenced out to the side, but it's just something that the visiting team thought might be something that the school would want to look at. And then finally, the recommendations. Those are the things that the school is not compliant with the standard, and it must be listed so that they can address it after the team leaves. You'll notice recommendation number 1 and commendation number 1, both are from the same standard, D.4, which is the standard about the faculty and the administration. That does not, having a recommendation for D4 does not take away anything from the commendation for D4. It just means that there is something that they also need to look at for compliance in that same standard. And then the second recommendation was from D.1, which is the same section, and the first standard that's listed. Once you have an opportunity to look at the school's previous on-site visit report, all of this will start to make better sense in using the references to the standards and also having commendations, suggestions, and recommendations. When you are writing the report of the on-site visiting team, you will not, however, highlight in red those standards. I did that just for this slide so that I could point them out to you. So everything is checked off. You probably have questions already after watching this video. Please make a Genie list and email me with anything and everything that you need. My address is on our last slide, and I'm happy to be in touch with you at any time. And that's a goal. That's a score. You have completed the visit. You're probably very tired. You're ready to get back with your family. You're ready to get back to your school. But it's not going to be easy to leave after spending 3.5 days with the other team members. The camaraderie is just incredible. Meeting all the new people at the school and knowing what a job you did for them in securing their future and helping them to dream big things to come. But it is time for you to relax. You will not be asked to do anything more after the visit is over. I mentioned earlier that there were 3 questions that team members usually ask, and here they are. The first one, I've never served on a team before. Is that a problem? That is not a problem at all. As an educator, you have written, evaluated, interviewed, studied, and learned best practices throughout your entire career. It truly is your expertise and experience that will go into serving as a member of the team, and you'll lend a valued voice to the whole. Your team leader and SAES staff liaison are there to help guide you through all there is to do. Team meetings throughout the day and in the evenings will offer time to share thoughts and ideas regarding all that you're seeing on the campus. All this to say that collaboration and teamwork really make it all come together throughout the week. The second question, what do I pack to wear on a visit? Well, your suitcase should hold clothing that is workplace professional. Comfortable shoes are mandatory because you will be all over that campus every day. There will be constituent meetings throughout the week with board, parents, the faculty, and in some cases even the students. So your professional appearance is really important. Once you're back at the hotel, though, for evening work, please be comfy, be casual, and be very relaxed. And the last question, which I know everyone needs to know, how will I be reimbursed for my expenses? So reimbursement will take place actually while you are on campus for the visit. The SAES staff liaison will instruct you on how to file and give you the materials that you need to be able to do that. Be sure, however, to bring your airline receipts with you, and if you drive, it would be helpful to know the mileage to the school and back. Well, in closing, remember this one thing as you work for the host school. Your team leader and your SAES staff liaison will offer on-site instruction and support to you throughout the entire visit. They are experienced with serving on teams. They'll be your guides and teachers throughout. Additionally, some of your team members may have served on teams and will also be invaluable to someone who hasn't served before. Ask questions, seek advice, and verify details as you go, and your team members will offer assistance and encouragement. The camaraderie that you all will develop and the professional development that you will take away from the visit are truly treasures. And that's it for this video. Your preparation will help you to understand the big picture of serving on a team, and the guide for team members and the team portal will be your go-tos leading up to the visit. And remember that I am on call for you as well. Again, thanks for spending the time to learn about your task ahead. Do be in touch, and peace be with you all.